JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 23rd of May 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, of course, and also our jfdbrokers.com website, if you click here on Start Learning and go into Market News Analysis, it will take you to this page, which is updated on a daily basis, and I believe you can find a lot of useful information here for yourselves. So, now then, jumping into the charts, guys, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225, and Nikkei closed in positive territory today. Jumping above this downside line. If you remember, last week I talked about this, and I said that I talked about it on Friday, and I said that, well, keep your eyes on the market, on the European and the U.S. markets. You know, if they manage to somehow kind of bring a bit of positivity or some sort, then yeah, we could see Nikkei maybe pushing a little bit higher. The problem there was that the U.S. and the European indices still closed in the negative zone. However, they could have closed in more than initially anticipated, because we saw a huge decline initially on. Especially on the US market, we saw a huge decline on Friday, but by the end of the trading session it managed to recover actually the bigger part of the losses for that day, and well, maybe, you know, this kind of gives a bit of hope that not all is lost there for the bulls. Now in this situation, for example, on Nikkei, we can see that the index now is trading above this downside line taken from the high of the 30th of March. Now again, it's trading again above that downside line, but as you can see, the first time here it was seeing more of just a false breakout, but now actually it closed above that downside line. And closed near that psychological 27,000 mark, but still below this hurdle right here, this 27,072 territory that I spoke about previously. So that's the high of the 6th of May, or in other words, the current highest point of May. So the current highest point of May is still providing that hold up. Yes, we are now, like I said, we're trading above this downside line, so that's kind of, in a way, I would say good news. Yeah, we need to see maybe another push above this highest point of May, the current highest point of May, in order to, let's say, get a little bit more comfortable with a larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that we're still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 14th of September of 2021. So yep, we've managed to break one downside line, but there's another one here, and we do also have these two EMAs, the 100-day and the 200-day EMA. So in other words, there are a bunch of obstacles on the way higher, but maybe a bit of a move here, a little correction higher could be possible. However, like I said, we'll be very careful, very cautious near these two levels, and near these two areas, and then yeah, we'll just take it from there. If it falls back below this downside line, the one that it got, you know, the one that it broke, then yeah, maybe, you know, we're kind of aiming for the downside again one more time, and we'll aim then for this upside line taken from the low of the 9th of March. Now jumping into Shanghai Composite very quickly on that one, so it working out perfectly, I would say, because what I said previously. I said last week that if we get that push, finally a push above that 3,100 territory, then yeah, my next target is the 3,160 zone. So as you can see, we came close to test that area on Friday, but we came even closer today to test that area. However, this area continues to provide resistance. So long story short, now again, like I said, I'm still aiming for that hurdle, but if we eventually clear that whole hurdle, we break it, well, then this is where we'll slowly continue grinding higher and aiming higher, and yeah, this is where we will maybe even aim for this territory. But I'll get to that point because maybe I'll have to readjust a few things here. But if you're looking for the downside on this one, then well, wait for at least a break of this upside line taken from the low, the 27th of April, and then at the same time a drop below this 3,100 territory, which we previously looked at as a resistance, could maybe also do the trick for a few more sellers. And probably, at the same time, if we get a break through all that, then we would also have the index placed below the 21-day EMA, which could also be seen as a somewhat of a negative thing. Now, jumping into the German index DAX, here we have we had a push higher. We tested this downside line once again. This downside line is taken from the high of the 5th of January of this year. We moved higher, we tested it, and we drifted back down. Now, if we take a look at the cash index right now and where we're currently sitting at, we'll see that the index is trying to push higher. We are we are above this hurdle, this 14,034 zone that I spoke about. We're basically above the psychological 14,000 mark. We're currently sitting at around 14,180 territory. So that means that we are above this downside line, but still below this barrier, the highest point of last week. So when we had that nice first kind of false breakout here, so we're still below that. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then yeah, wait for a push of at least above this the high of the 18th of May, the highest point of last week, near the 14,226 zone. So but even then, my little issue here is that we still have the current highest point of, let me just adjust this very quickly, we have the current highest point of May, which is roughly around that 14,315 territory. So in other words, if we start aiming for the upside already on a break of this barrier, this 14,226, then yes, my next target is the highest point of May, the current highest point of May. But if that gets cleared, certainly we will start, going even further north. So for the downside, well, I would say if it somehow falls back below that 14,034 zone, somewhere around here, then maybe I could start. Actually, I think this needs to be adjusted. Yeah, I think it's better to have a look at that 14,000 area in general. So if we drop below it, we may also drop below that 21-day EMA, and yeah, potentially more sellers could join in here. But again, we'll take everything, we'll go step by step, and yeah, we'll reevaluate things again if we do see a drop back below the 14,000 mark. Now, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at this. This is what I was talking about in the beginning. That initially, yeah, we saw a huge decline. We saw another drop below this low of the 12th of May near the 3,128 zone, and as you can see here, yeah, it was a very strong move here lower. Let me actually grab a line here just to mark this one. So yeah, 30,635 level, we managed to, this is where we found support, and then from here we rebounded and moved back up, back above this low of the 12th of May, 31,228 level. Now this of course gives us a bit of an interesting view here, because maybe this level is going to be something to watch for. And let's say looking at the cash index right now, we are seeing that retracement, and we are seeing that, you know, push back up right now. However, of course, as I said, you know, it might be a good feast here for the bulls right now, but you know, they should not really get their hopes up yet, because again, we still have this downside line which could play out. So we could see, you know, a bit of a retracement here to the upside. But if this downside line holds, this downside line which is drawn from the high of the 21st of April, if it holds, another decline could be possible. So, DXY dollar index. So yeah, this is where it's quite interesting here. We managed to break. Yeah, we managed to break this upside line taken from the low of the 31st of March of this year, and we're now testing this 102.65 territory. I spoke about that level, and I said that if we drop and stay below it, then yeah, I will go for lower levels. And actually, then my next target is, well, just bear with me, let me put this one on the chart. Of course, the next target is the 102.35 level, marked by the low of the 5th of May, or in other words, the current lowest point of May. If we clear that, then my next target is the 101.03 territory, marked by the high of the 19th of April and the low of the 25th of April. So yeah, for now, long story short, yes, it's looking quite interesting here to the downside, but again, I would like to see this one actually staying below this hurdle, below this 102.65, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. If we get that, then I'll go for lower levels. At the moment, yes, I'm already leaning a little bit more towards the downside, because, as I said, we broke the upside line. We're still below this 21-day EMA, but just in case, if something really, you know, drastically changes, then yeah, we could maybe see this one climbing back up. However, I would prefer now, in order to consider the upside, I would prefer to go for to wait for a push up of this 103.82 level, which is, and let me just jump into monthly chart, the highest point of 2017. So coming back to the daily chart and jumping into gold. So gold, of course, is enjoying the moment as well, enjoying the weaker dollar, and we're seeing a nice good push higher here. Now, in the short run, I believe that, yeah, there could be maybe more potential here for the upside, especially if we push through this 1858 territory, somewhere around here, because at the same time we would climb above the 200-day EMA, maybe even the 21-day EMA, and then we could aim for that 1892 zone. So if we stay above it, then yeah, we'll go for some higher levels here. In terms of the downside, now, in terms of the downside, I would say wait for a maybe break back below this upside line, this medium-term upside support line from the low of the 9th of August, something like that. But even then, I would say I will be very careful, because I'm going to be keeping an eye on this inside swing high of the 17th of May near the 1836 zone. And if we you know, drop below this, then this is where maybe more sellers could join in. So kind of keep that in mind. But at the moment, kind of I'm cautiously bullish. So let's see if we can clear up this barrier. WTI oil, guys. So yeah, WTI oil rebounding a little bit here, as you can see, but we're still below this 111.77 zone. I'm still sticking to the same area. I mentioned that last week, so I need to see a good push above it in order to aim for the upper side of the rising channel pattern, in which we are currently. For the downside, I would like to see maybe a drop below the 21-day EMA initially, and a drop below this 106.48 territory might also do the trick. But I'll stick to the 21-day EMA first, and then I'll take it from there. But at the moment, given that we are very close to this 111.77 territory, this, of course, yep, kind of paints a little bit more positive picture, I would say, and the fact that the dollar is kind of declining a little bit, so that's all, you know, kind of playing into the potential idea of maybe this one's you know, pushing a little bit higher. Litecoin. So I've talked about Litecoin previously. And I said that, well, look at this. I mean, we're currently stuck in this range, so we're kind of consolidating here a little bit. We're still below the downside line here, taken from the high the 30th of March, but we cannot get out of this area in between the 64.60 and the 73.29 levels, or we can round up towards the 70. Actually, let me adjust this a little bit here. I think it's going to be better this way, this 73.43 level, approximately around there. So so we're kind of stuck in this little area. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We need to see a clear breakout. If you're looking for something short term, wait for a clear breakout out of this range, and then yeah, we could consider the next short-term directional move. And jumping into a few pairs, AUD, USD, guys, quick update. We're gonna we'll try to fly through these pairs because I've talked a lot about them last week, so this is just going to be a quick update. But yeah, you can see AUD USD. This is what I talked last week. I said that if we break this downside line and we push above that 0.7054 territory somewhere around here, then this and we stay above this territory, then this could open the door towards higher levels. At the moment, I will say this way, that if the XY continues to decline and if this candle here, the daily candle, remains above this downside line, then yeah, higher levels could be met here. And to be honest, my next target could be somewhere near this 0.7265 zone. AUD NZD. So AUD NZD, we are near this upside line taken from the low of the 15th of March. Beautiful test of this 1.0978 territory. Everything's kind of very, very technical. That's one of the reasons why I do like this pair. It's very, very technical, and well, I mean, we can get rid of this upside line, or actually we can reuse it, recycle it. Always recycle, guys. A hidden message there for you. And yeah, we can draw something like this. So we have now this downside line taken from the high of the 4th of May, and we're currently resting on this upside line. So what I'm looking at here is that as we're coiling up, we're basically coiling up, we're getting into a bit of a squeeze here, but if you're looking for some lower levels, wait for a break of this upside line and a drop below that 1.0978 territory. If you're looking for some upside, at least a push through this downside line could be useful. Not to mention, of course, the 1.1111 territory right here, but again, we might start looking at some higher levels already, but again, if we do reach this downside line, I will reevaluate things again. Quick update on NZD USD, similar as with AUD USD, also breaking this downside line. Weaker dollar, yes. Commodity linked currencies are enjoying themselves right now, and this is like also why I'm kind of considering maybe a bit of a retracement here on some of the indices. Some a bit of positivity kicking in here. I'm not really very positive in general on indices at the moment, but from the very short-term perspective, we could see a bit of a retracement. NZD USD. So NZD USD here, yes, as I said, it's similar like with the AUD USD. Pushed nicely through this downside line. It's currently trading above the 21-day EMA. If it continues to do so, if it continues to trade above that 21-day EMA, then yeah, my next target is the. Actually, let me just grab this arrow, reuse it. And yeah, I'm going to aim for the 0.6568 level right here, marked by the high of the 5th of May, or in other words, the current highest point of May. USD JPY, guys, very quickly on that one. So this one's, let's say, unlike some other dollar pairs, this one's a little bit on the modest side here. And yeah, it's drifting lower. Although, if DXY continues to slide, yes, I mean, we could see maybe this one drifting lower as well. The only little issue that I have at the moment with this pair is that, yeah, we are below the 21-day EMA, we are below this hurdle that I talked about. Okay, so kind of everything's leaning towards the downside. But what I would prefer here to see is to see if this is not going to work out, if I can put it this way, because it seems like from the very short-term perspective, we could be forming something of a falling wedge pattern. Now, if this is the case, this, of course, according to all the TA rules, tends to break to the upside, but of course, as long as it remains inside that pattern, it could still drift lower. Now, again, this is what I'm saying. Don't don't kind of purely kind of believe me on this one or take my word on this one, but I'm just here, I'm trying to kind of present something, let's say, what could be possible. Now, let me just clear up a few lines here because they are a little bit in the way. So if we're looking for some lower levels here, probably the better option here is to wait for a drop below the low of the 12th of May, which is roughly around that 127.52 area, because somehow, as you can see, for the past kind of couple of past few trading sessions, yeah, we did break this, but we're kind of struggling to remain below this hurdle. So if we could stay below it, then yeah, I mean, like I said, I could go for lower levels towards the lower side of this falling wedge pattern. But this is the point which on one hand, this is one of those scenarios which I like and I don't like at the same time, because on one hand, yes, it could be a nice, beautiful falling wedge pattern which could break to the upside later on, but at the same time it could, still drift lower. However, with the downside, it's not really giving me that, that drop. However, it's still the beginning of the week, so let's see how this is going to play out. I'm keeping an eye on this 127.52 territory right here. If we drop and stay below it, I'll go slowly for the downside. My next target then is the lowest point, the current lowest, or actually, sorry, the low of the 27th of April, near the 126.95 zone, and then I'll take it from there. USD CHF. So beautiful, beautiful move here to the downside last week. We are seeing a bit of a retracement. We saw a bit of a retracement on Friday, but then now it's kind of drifting back down here. In a way, I'm going to be very careful because I'm going to keep an eye on this little hurdle at the moment. This is 0.9710, and if it somehow, let's say, for now, provides a bit of support, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be a larger rebound here, a larger correction to the upside could be possible. We maybe could test even this 21-day EMA. That's of course my ideal scenario, but let's see if what's going to happen right now with this 0.9710 zone, and if it clears up straight away, this could decline straight away to the downside towards that upside line taken from the low of the 31st of March. So in other words, if you're thinking that this is going to become very, very bearish, there is still hope here for the bulls to step in near this upside line. So in a way, this whole move could still be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. But let's go slowly on this one. I mean, let's not try to maybe predict the future too much. Let's see what's going to happen today here. But if, like I said, if somehow for now the 0.9710 territory does provide support, maybe a bit of a retracement back up here towards that 21-day EMA could be possible. And then if it holds, then I'm going to keep an eye on another possible stronger decline. The reason why I'm saying this, I would like to see this kind of 23.6% retracement here on the Fibonacci. This kind of comes in line perfectly with that 21-day EMA. So maybe it's like me trying to see, or trying to see what I wanted to, what I want to see. So this is one of those moments in trading when which you need to kind of avoid. However, like I said, I'm trying to be rational here. If like I said, if it does hold, if this 0.9710 territory for now continues to hold, I'll class a bit, I could see a bit of a retracement here, and then maybe another decline later on. But let's keep an eye on it. GBP CHF, quick update. Not going to spend too much time on this one, but basically you can see yourself what's happening. If you remember my analysis on this last week, I said that, well, I'm keeping an eye on this whole highlighted territory right here, which is the lower side of this range, and, well, boom. So we had a nice, beautiful rebound here. We're still having it, so we're moving towards that 21-day EMA, so everything's looking quite nice. So if you're looking for some lower levels here, then yeah, you need to see that. You need to wait for that pair to kind of stay below that lower side of the range. At the moment, it's just kind of flirting with it, teasing it, and but not really kind of doing much here. So at the moment we're having a nice rebound. For the upside, I would say, well, let's probably start from the downside. At the moment I will class something like this. So if we can, climb a little bit higher, maybe overcome that 21-day EMA, and then go and test the 1.23 territory and get a hold up around there, because it also could test the 100-day EMA, maybe another decline like this could be possible. However, if it starts popping above the 1.2315 territory, somewhere around here, now that's where maybe I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside, and then we will aim for that upper side of the range, and maybe then we could see that breakout. So at the moment, that's the kind of game plan. Let's see if it's going to work out or not. GBP Aussie also was something that I mentioned last week, and I said to, well, wait, because we're currently, it seems to be that we're forming a pennant, and well, so far so good. It is forming something like that. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then well, there is a good chance that this could break out to the upside. Because we have ourselves a nice pole here. This is like a bullish pennant here, or and yeah, we could see a nice push higher. However, I would actually prefer to wait for this move above the highlighted territory and then kind of target higher levels. So yes, we could start aiming for the upside if we do break this upper side of the pennant, but then be very careful around this highlighted area here, which is around that 1.7857 and 1.7887 levels. And then yes, if that gets cleared, certainly higher levels could be met. So for the downside, we would need to see a break below this upside line here, or should I say the lower side of the this pennant, and yeah, if it stays below it, then I'll go for the downside. A quick update on Euro NZD, also just a quick update. So I've talked a lot about this and I mentioned it. So at the moment, yeah, we're breaking nicely this hurdle, so everything's working out. So the 1.6459, last week I said that in order to go for lower levels, I need to see a break below that level. So we got that, and we tested the 100-day EMA. We're currently finding some good support near it, but if it fails, eventually this 100-day EMA, the shown as the green line, if it fails, then yes, another decline here could be possible. And for the upside, I would need to see maybe actually a push through this short-term downside resistance line first, and then yeah, I could consider a move higher. Euro JPY, so just a quick update on this one. I need to adjust this, but because basically, let me just remove all the drawings. This is going to be a quick analysis on this one, because basically the pair is coiling up, and we're waiting for this exit here. So at the moment, it's basically something like this. So as long as it remains in this little triangle pattern here, I'm just going to observe this one. But once it starts getting out of it, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for either the bulls, either the sellers, but depending on which side it's going to break. So keep it in mind. And EURUSD, beautiful move to the upside here. It's breaking this downside line. So yes, everything's kind of a little bit pointing more towards the upside. The only thing is that again, I am gonna approach this pair very carefully, because it has been tricky lately. So I'm still gonna stick to my 1.0636 level here. Yes, we're breaking this downside. Okay, great, but I would prefer this push above this barrier, and I would like to see the pair staying above that barrier, and then I'll consider maybe a bit of a larger move to the upside here. At the moment, I'm just observing this one. Yes, I'm kind of maybe cautiously bullish, but yeah, like I said, take everything with a pinch of salt a little bit here. So for the downside, the drop back below the 1.0495 territory, somewhere around here, maybe could do the trick, but to be honest, I think I will have to amend this level later on. But like I said, let's see if we do retrace somehow. But however, at the moment, I am, yeah, like I said, I'm kind of slightly on the neutral side, maybe, because for the upside, I would still prefer to see this push above this barrier. So that's it for this session, guys. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate you joining in and watching my video. Thank you very much for your views, for your likes, and I hope you will join me tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, as always, in my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.